So we are reintroducing the deal of the quarter after taking a little bit of a break. And this quarter, it's the sale of Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort, which didn't happen in this quarter. In fact, it didn't even happen in this year. But we didn't want to let another quarter go by without learning about the sale of this iconic Tucson property. Here today is Kip Volpe. Kip is the Vice President and Treasurer for the Estes Company and the President of Estes Land and Development Company, a multi-generational, full-spectrum Tucson and Arizona real estate development company, which has built over 35,000 homes in Arizona, developed master plan communities such as Ventana Canyon, La Reserve, Rancho del Lago, and Midvale Park, and numerous office buildings and shopping centers. Currently, Kip is a member of the Southern Arizona Leadership Council and currently serves as co-chairman of the Tucson Regional Water Coalition. Kip is treasurer of the Rialto Theater Foundation and has been a board member since 2013. And he's also a member of the Centurion since 2006 and sat on their board of directors as its treasurer from 2011 to 2014.
So to understand the sale of Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort, you have to understand the original deal, which happened in 1984 when Dean Wingert and I were young peoples working on that project. In 1984, the cost of the project was about $40 million. So I'm going to round the numbers because, you know, I just have to dumb it down so I can add. So the cost of the project is about $40 million. Estes raised about $30 million through traditional financing and other equities. And so I went to look for the gap money, the $10 million. So we went to, John Tisch put us in touch with a syndicator, tax syndicator in '84, International LePerc de Neuflies, and they raised the additional $10 million. However, they raised $14 million and kept $4 million for their fees and gave us 10. So to highlight how expensive the last monies are, for that $10 million, the limited partners got 60% of the deal. They got 99% of the tax benefits. They got a preferred return of 9% that was cumulative. And we got, obviously, the opposite of that. 40% of the deal, 1% of the tax benefits. We did get a 1% management fee of gross revenues. So, but we were the managing general partner, so they couldn't do anything without us. So it's a happy life, everybody's making money, the project is a huge success, the limiteds are cashing checks every year and taking tax write-offs, which, there's a lot of accountants here, that creates a significant timing difference because they have a huge negative basis. So now fast forward to the, do you want to turn $120 million asset into $30 million? I'll tell you how to do that. A perfect storm of the stock market started falling. It was an election year. Some of the candidates were running on the corporate greed, your stock, waste of shareholder money, corporate junkets are, nothing but, for fat cats. And that's the reason your stocks are falling, which is absurd. The economy starts collapsing. SB 1070 happens, and we have a call for a boycott of Arizona, which hurt only one industry, the tourism industry. And so that's how you turn $120 million into $30 million, virtually overnight. So the limiteds, they want to get out. We want to sell this thing, let's get out. So I want to get my money out of this. Well, guys, you're not going to get your money out of it because Estes isn't getting any money out of this deal. So let's just find another solution. So fast forward to 2014. So we go to Lowe's, and who's the most logical person in the deal? Lowe's was always a part of the deal, but they were never an ownership part. They only had a management contract with us. So Lowe's agrees, we convinced Lowe's to buy out the limiteds. They agreed to. We obviously approved that. The existing debt's approximately the same after 30 years. Lowe's agrees to contribute additional capital in the $20 to $25 million range to renovate the hotel. The Estes side doesn't have to do anything. But for that, Estes gets diluted from its 40% position down to 10% and obviously gives up its management control. Now, why would we do this other than not wanting to put in our 40% of $25 million? Because we worked the deal that we now, any money that Lowe's took out of the property, we would participate pari passu in our percentage. Before, we were always subordinate to the limiteds. If they didn't get their preferred return, we didn't get any money. So that's the way it happened, and it has been a win-win for both Estes and Lowe's and Tucson, frankly, because now you have an active manager and owner with an international presence, and you still also have a local figure in front of it, Mrs. Estes in front of the hotel, that adds value. John Tisch will tell you that himself. So that's the deal.